Today I want to talk to you for a few minutes about motivation and why you do what you do. First, they asked me to do something on student motivation and share a few thoughts. And I started working on that, and I felt like a hypocrite. Because to be honest with you, far too often, the most unmotivated person in my classroom is the teacher. And I want to just share a few things with you. I sure don't want to come across as being a know-it-all, but I have thought about a few things, and maybe this will help us in some way. Far too often, it's the teacher who needs to be more motivated. I'm not proud of that. That's the unvarnished truth. It needs to be said. I'm not talking about any of the other teachers in our building. We got a great staff. We got great people. I love it. I'm speaking for myself when I say this. Now, when you fly with a child in an airplane, they give you the pre-flight instructions. They show you where the exits are and all this kind of stuff. But one of the things they tell you, if there's a loss of cabin pressure, masks will drop down. And if you're traveling with a child, the first thing you're supposed to do is, as an adult, put your mask on. And then you help your child or your grandchild. If I was going with my grandchildren, I don't think there's any doubt if there was a loss of cabin pressure. I think if they hadn't told me that, the first thing I would do is make sure that my grandchild had their mask on. But that's not what you're supposed to do. They want to make sure that you as an adult are taken care of and you're breathing properly, you don't lose consciousness, then the child would panic. You've got it together. And then you help the child. I think in teaching, that's the way it is. I've got to be motivated if I'm going to motivate anybody else. So one of the most important keys for student motivation is teacher motivation. Now, have you ever struggled to make it through the week? Have you ever thought, if I can just get through this week? The first person I talked to in the building when I came in last Wednesday, I said, "Hey, how's it going?" And the teacher said, "I'm just trying to make it to the weekend." And a lot of times that's the way that we think. That's our mentality, our mindset. You know, we even used to call it hump day. And now we know it's not hump day, it's Trump day. But anyway, I'm frustrated. It's easy as a teacher to feel underpaid, underappreciated, stressed out. It's easy to get bogged down with the duties that you have. You got bus duty, you got lunch duty, you got lesson plans, you got classes to teach, you've got papers to grade, you've got department meetings. You've got to keep the gate at the ball game. You've got to go to the ball games or the wrestling match to support the kids that are in your classes because they're looking for you. They want to see you. And there's all these different things that if we're not careful, it's easy to get on autopilot. And it's easy to get bogged down with our duties and forget why we teach in the first place. Jaromir Jagr was an NHL hockey player. As a matter of fact, he started playing professional hockey at age 18. He was the youngest player in the NHL. And now he's the oldest player in the NHL. In 2017, he's still playing for the Florida Panthers. He's the second all-time leading scorer in NHL hockey history. He's been an MVP. He's been a finalist for MVP 5 times. But one of the things he's most famous for, aside from winning 2 Stanley Cups, is he was the captain on the gold medal winning team for the Czech Republic in 1998 in the Olympic Games in Nagano, Japan. The National Hockey League canceled the season for about 3 weeks or so. All the NHL players went back home to Sweden, Finland, Canada, the US, the USSR, Czech Republic, wherever. And then they played for their home country for the gold medal. It was really cool. Everybody was excited about that. The U.S. probably had the greatest amount of talent, but they didn't even get a medal because they weren't really a team. But that's for another day for us to talk about. Everybody was excited. They wanted to see Wayne Gretzky win a gold medal for Canada, but he didn't. He got the bronze. But in the gold medal game in '98, it was between Russia and the Czech Republic. And before the game, the referee went over and he said to Jaromír Jágr, number 68 on the Czech Republic team, he was the captain, he said, "Captain, is your team ready?" And he said, "We're ready. We've waited for this match all our lives." Wow. And he was right. They were ready. They beat Russia 1-0 in the gold medal game. They played the national anthem. They raised the flag. They stood on the podium. They put the gold medal around their neck. They won the gold medal. It was a great moment. And afterwards, in the media room, they asked Jágr. All the worldwide reporters wanted to know, what was it like winning the gold medal? How did you feel? They kept asking him, how did you feel? And he said, wait a minute. It's not about how I felt. It's not about me. I played for my country. I played for my grandfather. You see, I'm wearing number 68. Every time I play, no matter what team I'm on, I'm number 68. On my skates, I've written on the tongue of both skates, 68. Every time I lace up my skates, I see the number 68. In 1968, Russia invaded Czechoslovakia, and they overran the country. Some brave Czechs fought against them. And Jágr's grandfather was wounded. He later died in a prison camp. He said, it's not about me. It's all about those brave Czechs that fought for our country in 1968. I play for my grandfather. I play for them every time I lace up my skates. What's your 68? What's your why? As a teacher, it's easy for me to think about all the stuff that I've got to do. And by the way, I shouldn't look at it like I've got to do that. It's I get to do that. What a great place I work. Great people I work with. And I mean that sincerely. It's incredible, the talent of the people that we have at our school. It's an honor for me to work with them. But if I'm not careful, I forget my why. I forget why I got into education in the first place. Why do you come to school? Why do you do what you do? Who do you do it for? I mean, we're doing it for the kids. We're not doing it for ourselves. It's not about our paycheck. But we've got to make sure we never lose sight of our why. I got into education because I wanted to make a difference. And I was coaching. I coached basketball for 34 years. It's not about banners and rings and trophies and all of that. It's about the relationships. It's about the opportunities you have to teach, reach, motivate young people. I want to live a life of significance. I want to impact young people. Beethoven said, to play a wrong note is insignificant, but to play without passion is inexcusable. Hey, as teachers, we're going to make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. And you know what? It's okay. Just don't make the same one over and over and over. But to play without passion, Beethoven said was inexcusable. To teach without never put your key in the door without remembering why you're there and what you're trying to do and who you're trying to serve. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thanks for the time. go get them.